everybody. Clearing. Okay, so today we are going to take a look at both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine connection. First off, I'm going to pull an energetic card to see where the Divine Feminines are at with their development on the 5D and above, on the energetic levels. So thank you, Divine Creator. What is it we can see for the Divine Feminine collective? Where are the Divine Feminines growing energetically? What is the point of growth? Okay, we have a couple here. So we're getting Seal of Evolutionary Colors, Progressive Awareness, and Multidirectional Change. So, you know, this seems like true multitasking. Feminines, you are including previously contrary ideas and you're innovating. You are changing course. You're experiencing, oh, I just heard a polar opposite from how you once were and how you are now seeing that those restrictions, conditions, parameters that you once adhered to are no longer applicable in the same unsafe way. So whatever your triggering has been in the past, you've sufficiently gotten to the healing of it in order for you to include it as a facet and not a other energy in your life. That is incredible, feminines. And the other card is Chakra Kabbalah, Spiritual Path, Life Lessons, and Karma. So you've balanced out your karma, and this is the way that you can witness the realization of that, is what I'm hearing. Beautiful. Okay, let's see where the masculines are at energetically. I want to applaud the Divine Feminines. That's absolute lovely energy. What are the Divine Masculines navigating? Harmonic Oscillator. Timing, rhythm, synchronization, and frequency. The masculines are still on this pursuit of dialing in the discernment of frequency, looking at counterfeit, looking at intentions and motives and different expressions. Primarily, you know, because of the twin dynamic, and I'm really getting the objectification templates of feminines and masculines in the previous paradigms. The masculines are getting more and more adept at understanding surface expression and how that relates to frequency, underlying alignment. The not all that glitters is gold thing. They're becoming more sure and wishing to synchronize with the things that are a fit, not the things that look good on paper, so to speak. Timing and rhythm. There's a dance, there's a bigger picture. So both twins are really maneuvering into bigger picture thinking, which is the definition of consciousness expansion. Very, very nice. So those are literally the ways that the twins are expanding. Okay, let's see. The next thing that I'm being guided to look at is, what do each of the twins anticipate is next in the journey? What do the Divine Masculines and the Divine Feminines each anticipate to be next in the journey? We're going to pull some clarifiers on the meeting space, the union space in that light, and see what it would take to compromise that energy, and also what the challenges are regarding that energy. We're putting on in the internal work towards union on the split. I'm going to just shuffle a couple more times. So thank you, Divine Creator, for bringing through exactly what we need to see regarding the Divine Feminines and the Divine Masculines, and what they are each working on towards the future, what they anticipate to happen next in their journeys. So let's see, what are the Divine Feminines anticipating? We already get a few. Okay, what are the Divine Masculines anticipating? I will share this. I'm just gonna do, ooh, nice. a few for the Divine Feminines. Okay, what is the shared space? The third energy, the combined energy of these two anticipations. Oh yeah, the Star in reverse, and the underlying energy, death and transformation towards public victory. Okay, so let's see what we got. The Star and autonomy. So, this is the particle and wave theory of light. The star is the starlight, the slow becoming, the tractor that's pulling us towards the eventual destiny. So both of the twins in the shared space are increasingly aware of the sovereignty they each possess and the destined path. The Star in the reverse can indicate a lack of hope for some reason, an insecurity, a lack of confidence in the surety of the connection, and that seems to relate implicitly with the degree of, or lack thereof, sovereignty. So pay attention to that. If you are not holding your own noble, inert frequency, if you're not stable in your connection to Source, you will waver in the faith it takes to fully embrace your destiny. In the reverse, the twins are working on that. So part of the authentication that would cause these to be in the upright is what the twins are anticipating and how that works in the third energy. So the Divine Masculines have the Empress in the reverse for what they're anticipating. This is an interesting energy because it does imply the Divine Feminine as the Empress, but there seems to be a tension, a constructive tension that the masculines are experiencing regarding the full realization of the Empress in their lives. So in the reverse, the masculines are seeing the disparity between abundance being in their lives and this connection or disconnect. So the masculines are anticipating that they will continue to be inspired to understand their own abundance as it relates to connection with the Divine Feminine. So it does seem to be a very internal frequency there. I'm going to pull a Hermit Tarot and see what the masculines would say to the Divine Feminines about that. About that tension. We get 1. You make my heart full, but it's in the reverse. It landed right on these cards, and so the masculines are working on finding it within themselves, union within, finding their own heart's fullness despite or aside from this connection. But there is an entirely magnetic pull that, we can't complete each other, but there is some sort of a growing magnetic relationship here that the masculines know it goes hand in hand, that you, Divine Feminine, are part of that becoming energy of their own fullness, their own abundance, their own destiny, their own sovereignty. How beautiful is that? Amazing. Okay, and then for the Divine Feminines, we got the 5 of Cups, this card of mourning, grieving, feeling like they're needing to let go. It came out like this on the fence, on the side. So the feminines are holding their own and not telling negative storylines about losing this connection right now, but not overly impractical or unrealistic with where things are at. So the feminines are just sort of holding space. Yeah, it's like the feminines have room in their heart for whatever will happen here, but they're dealing with wavering moments. That Cancer new moon was incredibly catalytic for exactly this, the pulling realization of where things are still needing to calibrate towards sovereignty and destiny and wholeness. Yeah, and then the other two cards, we've got anxiety and not walking away. So, slaying the dragons, this is the triggering that would cause someone to run, to block, to escape. And then the overcoming that says, I don't have to actually respond in such a separatist motion. I can just hold space. So the divine feminines are tenderly anticipating this refining process. Also attention. A lot of mirroring today. And the underlying energy is also quite... By tension, I mean catalyzing, like it is dynamic. It's tensile, not tension in stress as the main description of the word, but it's animated, it's not static. So there is this transformation, the becoming, and it also has to do with the masks dropping, coming out into the open. There's a little bit of an ego battle I'm feeling in these cards about public awareness or transparency regarding the connections and regarding the twins' newfound frequencies. Everybody's coming into a more free, less burdened, less tethered to the 3D alignment, but it's in progress right now. So there's this challenge of, I'm literally witnessing when we're wanting an external manifestation and how to bring that into what would be needed on an internal level to become more transparent, more open, more free, so that this would be a natural representation of that inner frequency. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to shuffle the cards and do a reading from the vantage point of the divine. Let's ask the divine what the twins who are watching this, who will see this video, what is it that would be beneficial to focus the conscious mind on the heart space? What would be the most beneficial lens to look at this connection through? As far as setting intentions for this connection, what would the divine suggest would be advantageous for the twins? What actions would the divine suggest to be beneficial in the twins' lives? What challenge is worthy of consideration at this time? What is the solution, the divinely guided solution for that challenge? And where does the divine say the connection is going in the near future? So one of the things that I'm being asked to channel right now, I didn't expect, but there is a 369 template, a harmonic resonance that I've been shown repeatedly over the last few days, in particular probably a week, and I've been shown that there is a cycle that's happening from the time of the Cancer new moon, and 3 months, 6 months, 9 months is a pattern. So I'm just going to shuffle that. So if the new moon was here in linear time, there's a 3-month period, a 6-month period, and a 9-month period that all simultaneously are harmonized, stacked like that. The top one is karma, healing, union, resistance, integration, union. So there are proportions. And I've been shown this as a fractal template that not only plays out in linear time, in cosmic time, but it plays out in each moment inherent in our perception. So there's a harmonized template of growth that's functioning. It's like our work here is never done. We're infinite. And so there is a stabilizing intrigue with resistance and integration and inclusion that happens. You can describe these layers in so many different ways, but there is a natural template that happens. And this, I've been shown, allows us to give the proper gratitude, appreciation for the journey, because we see how each of those set of circumstances work together in harmony to create a fulfillment, an appreciation. And it's not necessarily straight up duality, it's a triplet. The third energy. So take that how it resonates. Let me know if that hits and inspires anything in particular. But let's get into this. So what would the divine say as a worthy consideration on the conscious mind of the twins watching this? 3 of Earth and the Empress. So yeah, I mean, I believe this 3 of Earth is the 3D, that template of reality that just came through. This is an awareness that we can hold about what's going on in the material realm, playing out, manifesting based on those levels of perception that are working behind the scenes. This is a key to abundance. I also feel that template describes the realm of genius, the artistry of reality, so to speak. Very interesting. So in the 3D, we're being asked to look at how can we bring in abundance? What is abundance truly? The energetic inclusion of abundance into teamwork, and how things can be dynamic instead of in opposition. When we have a third energy, it brings in the Trinity, it brings in the spirit, mind, body, and soul, so to speak. It brings all of those things in. And we are moving to an ascended view where we are being asked, we are desiring, we're being inspired to include energetics, the spirit, into our processing of reality. So we're being asked to look at how that can translate within the twin dynamics. And I'm being clearly told to convey that the recognition of a divine partner is essential here, because when 2 or more are gathered in the name of the divine, there is it evokes a higher love, a higher motivation that is the aliveness, that is the Holy Spirit, that is the genius, the love frequency, and that is true abundance. So what is it on the heart space that the twins are being guided to look at? Oh, the 5 of Air and the 2 of Pentacles. So in the heart space, we get this very mental card. This is one of the definitive mental conflict cards, where we are creating short-sighted victories in our life. It's a very shallow victory. So the divine is asking us to take our thoughts captive, and in the heart space begin to change towards eternal love. Begin to look at the ways that things are not actually serving us, the ways that we are undermining self and other. We're not fully living our truth, not practicing the things that we know on our hearts are the most love-filled. This is a little bit of sort of course correction away from the rebellion, away from the resistance, and up and out of the laziness, the self-worthlessness. The divine is asking us to be very practical about what it is we want to manifest and what that takes each step of the way, and breaking it down into like baby steps that are more long-term, more eternally aligned, more love aligned, knowing that if we make those choices in the moment, we avert the karmic repercussions that fall short of the true abundance we're being inspired towards. Okay, what is it that the divine would place on our hearts for a heart wish? Queen of Water and Two of Cups. This is such a love-filled card. Queen of Water and Two of Cups. This is the true seeing each other's hearts, wishing for this. However, this is the love embodied, and with the Two of Cups in the reverse, there's a priority scale here. This person is very much within, attuned to Source, in love with Source. And that is what we're meant to do. We're meant to be on this journey. So seek the divine with all of your mind, body, and soul. And don't focus so much on coming into union with the person, is the message here. All things will be revealed in this template. The individual primarily focused on Source, while holding awareness of this profound sacred connection with Twin. What actions would the divine have us take? 9 of Air and 9 of Cups. 9 of Air is rising above. In this deck, she's receiving her wings. This feminine on here, this girl is receiving her wings, but it represents all of us. And I'm feeling, because it's a more feminine depiction, there is this softening, a receptivity, an understanding that we can transcend. So transcending the static, the noisy mind chatter that comes from uncertainty, too many temptations. The 9 of Cups can be temptations. It can be gluttony. It can be counterfeit abundance, consumerism, filling ourselves up with the temporary, the lust. In the reverse, this is saying actively see the connection between the uncertainty. I heard fear of uncertainty, the control dynamics that we get into when we allow our mind to run away with us, and how that predisposes us for coping methods. So I'm getting a message here that this is addiction being released as the frequency of thoughts is elevating through consciousness, through love-based thinking. So the actions we're meant to take here is releasing of codependency, materialism, taking off the mask, and really rising above the coping, letting go of the unproductive thoughts, the suffering, letting go of the suffering through taking the thoughts captive and rewriting them in the name of love, and that being the key to release counterfeit addictions and coping methods. So again, coming to source, this is driven by the wish to align with the divine, aka love, and not get that or attempt to fill a void with things of this dimension. Wow. Okay, what is the biggest challenge at this time? Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Wow, the challenge is continuing this shadowy work, continuing to allow the process of being pulled forward by the hand of God to humble and refine our consciousness. I'm hearing very clearly to surrender to the will of the divine and understand that you're on this journey because you have been incarnated at this time when this is the divine plan and you are an expression of that. Surrendering to it, letting it have its way with you, and not being in fear about that is the challenge. I'm hearing the awesome power of the divine. The challenge is to witness that and allow it to come through your life as an expression. What is the solution? Messenger of water and the Three of Pentacles again. So for some, this is a nudge that the divine masculines are being given to reach out to the divine feminine. I'm getting this here. The messenger of water is a love message. It is a letter of appreciation, but we have the Three of Pentacles again, which was in the conscious mind and recognizing what true abundance is. The Empress is related to true abundance in these twin connections. And so the divine is saying that part of the surrender to this is the masculine motion to send a message of gratitude to the divine feminine. That recognition, that sacred recognition I'm hearing, is the solution for dropping the resistance. So communication of love and appreciation from the masculine is the next solution along the journey to continue to allow the flow to happen. So the conscious recognition, the investment into this connection is being placed on the masculine polarity. Now that can be within each of us. So if you relate primarily polarized as the divine feminine, this could be the masculine attribute within you that's being called to journal or express. This can also be the masculine, the DM being asked to express in the 3D to the feminine. Take it how it resonates for your connection, but there needs to be communication. It's both an indication and a wheel turning action. It's an indication of the wheel turning, and it also spins the wheel. It's a perfect example of practical spirituality, realism. If that's what is showing up, that is the descriptor for what is happening. It's not getting ahead of, it's not wishful thinking, it's not good intentions, it's reality. And I'm seeing that the energy indicates that this is the current reality, communication of appreciation between the twins. Okay, where is the connection going in the near future? And look at that, the Empress. The Empress with, wow, so this card is about progress. The Six of Swords. There's only one individual in this card that has aligned their thoughts and moving to calmer waters. It's in the reverse, and I heard it's not time to go it alone. It's time to come in with that appreciation. We had the Empress at the beginning already with the Three of Coins as the supporting card, the inspiration to work together in the physical. And the connections are moving out of these solo journeys and into collaborative abundance, connection in the 3D. So that can mean literally text messages, spontaneous meetups, planned meetups, taking things to a new level. With the Three of Coins a few times and the Empress, there is a streamlining towards mission and business and projects here as well that will lead to an increase of abundance, teamwork with the twins towards true abundance. There's a motion away from the solo journey and into more of an exponential abundance here, growth, fertility within the connections. I'm seeing the toroidal flow activating in the twin connections while still having the internal fuel flow of the individual functioning and not being disrupted by the third energy generated when each of the twins are a self-sustaining system in their sovereignty. The way that feeds in. Oh, okay, bear with me here. So what I'm seeing is how do we want to do this? Yeah, the individuals having the toroidal flow going through the crown chakra and the other chakras and flowing like this. And then if you can imagine the twins coming into proximity with each of their toroidal flow going like this, as they come together, that boosts the third energy and expresses abundance into the universe when in close proximity, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. That adds propulsion to the third energy. The closer we come into union, the closer we come in energetically, the more exponential that geyser of innovation becomes. How beautiful. All right, many blessings, twins. Bye for now.